Well, this is an old battery that's it's probably shorted out, and I'm going to give it an experiment and see if this works, but it may not, because it probably does not work too good on shorted out batteries. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dump it over completely, empty all the acid out of it, and what's going to happen is I'm going to take some baking soda mixture here, pour it in the cells, let it sit, dump it out. Do that a few times, and also I'm going to try it with vinegar too. Let it sit with some pure vinegar, dump it out. Then we're going to make a alum solution and see if we can change this into a non-acid type of battery that's going to work like a non-lead acid battery. Non-lead acid battery. It's going to be lead, of course, but it's going to use alum, and it's a type of pickle juice that's non-corrosive. You can, it's not going to, if it touches your skin, you're not going to have a problem. But the idea is that the battery can discharge a hell of a lot more. Now, the thing is, usually you got to start out with a good battery. I'm going to try to recondition this big, oversized battery and see if I can clean out where the plates are shorted out, because that's the problem actually. There's some sulfation in the plates that shorted out some of the plates. And maybe I can clean it, maybe I can't. We'll see if I'm successful. Okay, so I'm putting some baking soda water in here. It's this stuff, Great Value baking soda. Did like a half a small box, so that's a half a pound in about a, I don't know, what is this, a gallon? So, yeah, I guess it's about a gallon, maybe a little more. And you put it in there, and you can see it kind of foams up. A little bit of a reaction, should wear safety glasses, I guess. But I washed it out twice before I did this, so I'm going to do this a couple times with baking soda solution, one time with vinegar, and then one time with baking soda solution. I think I'll do 50% vinegar, something like that, and then I'll try the alum. I'll see what happens. I think this cell was the bad one, and after I poured everything in there, everything was settled down. All of a sudden, this one started foaming up, all kinds of stuff, and coming out of there. So maybe it loosened up whatever's down in there. And like I said, I'm going to do this twice with the baking soda. Once with vinegar, let it sit in there, 50% vinegar, and then go over it again with baking soda. Then I'm going to fill it up with the alum and see what happens. Now, this is probably going to take, you'll see this all in like 1 10-minute video, but it's probably going to be over a period of a good week or so. And if it don't work, it don't work. Now I'm going to try it over again if it don't work, because I think it can work if I get the crap out of there. And once you have this thing set up, this is a big size battery. This is a huge battery, and if I get it going, it's going to be great. It's going to be a deep, very deep cycle battery. So I don't want to try it with a new one. You know what I mean? I don't want to try it with a new one. I mean, you're supposed to try it with a new one, but I'd rather try it with an old one. Okay, so you can see that's all the dried baking soda on there, and it's been 24 hours. I'm going to dump this out right now, and I'm going to replace some baking soda solution. Do it another 24 hours. Then I'm going to do a 50% mixture of vinegar in water, and then do the baking soda solution again. Then we're going to try to charge it up with the alum solution. We'll see what happens. Okay, so just dump the battery upside down. Next step is to put some baking soda solution in there. And I'm putting like a half a pound of baking soda in a gallon of water. A gallon pretty much fills this thing up perfect. Okay, same deal. It's like a half a pound of baking soda in this gallon jug. Put some, mixed it up pretty good. Hey, you can still hear it do its thing, man. There's acid in there, man. Hear that? So it's like, if there's some part in there that's shorted out, what it is, it's probably shorted out from sulfation. And my theory is, I think I'm going to go over it with some vinegar after this, 50% mixture vinegar and water, and let that sit in there for a couple days. Then do the baking soda again. Then I'm going to do the alum. The vinegar, I don't know, it's a theory. I think if there's any kind of crap in there, it probably dissolve it better than this baking soda stuff. I don't know if it's going to do it now, but this was, I got the battery facing the opposite direction. That's that same cell. I put a lot of stuff, water in here. It's bubbling up like crazy. So, I bet you there was a short in there because it caused the baking soda to get, finally got past wherever it was bridged. See that? It's coming out of that same hole. See that? So that probably was the problem right there. It may be able to fix it. I might be able to fix it, give it enough time. See that? That's where I think the short was, between those two cells. Okay, that was 2 washouts with baking soda so far, and you can see the whole top of this thing is like got a baking soda solution on top of it, and that's my bike, my Harley, riding in the idling in the background. I start it every week, and so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not going to film it, so it'll be 3 times. I'm going to do 3 times the baking soda, 24 hours each. And then I'm going to do 50% solution of vinegar, straight white vinegar, and water. Then I'm going to do the baking soda one more time, and we're going to try the alum solution. If it doesn't work, I'm going to do the whole thing all over again and see if I can get it to work. I'm curious. I'm really curious about this shit. Okay, I decided to cut this little experiment short because I don't really know about doing that stuff with the vinegar. I washed the battery out a couple times with just plain tap water. Now this is distilled water with 4 ounces of alum solution, and here it is. You know, you get it from, I got like 2 pounds of it, so I got plenty of it. So I only use 4 ounces, which is a half a cup. And I'm going to go pour it in the battery. And right now the battery is upside down, so it's draining. Just things out of there. I washed it out a couple times with just plain water. And I have more distilled water in this. The reason I left some air in here, it's going to take about a full gallon to fill up that battery. I left some air in here so I could shake this up really good and make sure there's no sediment on the bottom. It seems to really mix really nice though. So we'll see how it's going to work out. If it doesn't work out, I have plenty of this stuff because 2 pounds of this is enough to give me, well, 1 pound is 4 times, it's like 8 batteries worth, so I could try this experiment over enough, try it a couple more times and see if it works. It's a shorted out battery, like I said, so that's one of the problems. So it may not work because, like I said, it was a shorted out battery. I might have fixed it though, who knows. Okay, so the battery's draining. You know, it's been draining for like, I don't know, 45 minutes or something. I guess you're supposed to let it drain overnight, but I washed it out a couple times and poured it out. It should be pretty clean in there, so I'm going to start pouring this alum solution in there and put a slow battery charger on it, a manual battery charger, and see how it works. Well, I'm using this old 6 volt, 6 volt, what am I talking about? Well, it's 6 volt also, it's 6 amps and 6 volt, but I'm using it on 12 volts, of course. 6 amp manual charger. You should really start it out about 2 amps, and I just was looking at it with the voltmeter, and it's going up a little bit. It was at 10.8 volts, and I'm going to put this one on here, this Ship to Shore Schumacher one. It's an electronic one, but electronic ones aren't good to get something going when they're like completely dead. And let's see if this thing, I can hold this on here. Yeah. Yeah, you can watch the gauge. It's been going up. See? Well, slowly. It's taking a charge. So I think I'm going to see if the other one can go on here pretty soon, and I'll let it charge up at 2 amps real slow with this one next. and I'll do it in stages, but just I got to get it going with the manual one. So this may work. This just dropped off. So here we go. See, it's moving up, moving up. See that? Taking a charge, man. Better than the freaking thing was originally. So I don't know if it's going to be strong enough, but it's going to have some life in it. That's for sure. And it looks like this one didn't go into sulfation mode, so it's creeping up. You see it says 10 point. That's low, man. It means it's like dead, but I don't know. On this one, that's the way this works. It'll actually put out electricity down to like 1.5 volts or something. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's not going into desulfation mode. That's the percentage. It just jumped up one. So I'll leave it on this 2 amp thing for now. Yeah, see, it's jumping up. It was at 17%. Now it's 19%. Might take a little while, but maybe in several hours. Yeah, it's getting it's touching 11 volts. So I needed that manual one. It's just to get it jumped because yeah, 21%. I'll see. I got a load tester. We'll see what happens. Well, I've been charging this battery up for, I guess about 6 hours, and it should be charged up pretty well, but it's not. Actually, I put a load tester on it, and of course, you know, it wasn't holding the 12 volts. It was going down even static. But what happened? It looks like it's a different type of battery. It's weird that you can put a load tester on it, 100 amp load tester, and what happens is kind of works like a 6 volt battery. And I think what it needs to be done is it needs to be charged a lot more in stages, off and on. And I noticed resting, it came back up a little bit. So this can power a 6 volt light no problem, and it seems to have decent capacity in it. It's not the same as it was originally. It's a different animal completely. So I'm probably going to split this video into 2 pieces because this is taking a hell of a lot more time than I thought. And there's a number of different specifications on how much lume to put in here. I put 4 ounces of lume, or half a cup, in about a gallon of water. Some say to put 4 ounces in 40 ounces of water, which is a 1.1 1/4 gallons. And some say to put 2 cups in a gallon of water. So I don't know what the hell to put, to tell you the truth. So, but it looks like this battery has some kind of life, because actually I could put a load tester on it, severely load tested this thing a few times, and it checks out okay as a 6 volt. As a 6 volt, which is weird. Now I noticed the voltage was 7.58. In resting, it's creeping up on its own. So it probably needs a lot of basically charging it up, discharging it, charging it up, discharging it. It's almost like conditioning a big giant cell phone battery. That's what it probably needs to be done. And I'm not sure if I need to add some more lume to the cells, but it may be that's the case too. Maybe that's the case too. But this battery looks like it'll be usable for using with a solar panel and, say, lawn lights or something like that, you know, where you can power them up all night, because it looks like it's putting out a good solid 6 volts, and it's got good power behind that, and it's a totally different animal. It's nothing like the original. I'd like to see it get up to about 12.5 volts, and then it would be an automotive battery. But it might take some serious conditioning of bringing the charge up, bringing it down, and adding some more lume. So we shall see. This is going to be, like I said, I'll have to split this into 2 parts. But like I said, that was at 7 point. See, it's going back up, slowly moving up. So it almost went to, there it is. It's almost 6.8. So it went up like you know, well over a half a volt. So it's been moving up. It's been moving up. Okay, so the battery charge is back on it, and wow, went way the hell over. Now, it was pretty much at 3 volts before. It's about 2 or 3 volts. It's probably I'm gonna take it off of there if it keeps up at that rate, because it's probably too fast of a charge. But it looks like, you know, I don't know, maybe if I experiment and put it on 6 volts, see what happens. It's really weird. I don't know, maybe I only have so many of the cells actually working. Maybe that's what's going on. Well, it looks like it's settling down a little bit. You can see the gauge. It's going down to 6 volts, so it's taking a charge pretty quick. So it was up to 8 volts. So I'm gonna let this sit for a day. I'm gonna discharge it, recharge it. I think you really got to condition it. This is almost like it's a different animal completely. So this might take me another week of messing around with it, and maybe even adding more alum solution. But like I said, this was a shorted battery, so we shall see if this works out. Maybe I'm only working on 3 cells. Who the hell knows? But in any case, if it turns out I'm only working on 3 cells, it's still useful. It's still useful. You know, I could put 100 amp load tester on that for 3 15-second loads, and it's still, you know, it's still holding some kind of charge, and it was recovering. So it's a different animal altogether. Like a regular 12 volt battery, you could not get any kind of power out of it if it's down like 10 volts. But in this battery, it's a different animal. It'll put power out way below that. It's totally different. So yeah, it looks like the charger is, you know, it's taking a charge on a battery, and the charger is adjusting accordingly. So I'm going to leave it on here for a day, and it's probably going to take me a good week of messing around with this. I might be able to get it back up to 12 volts. I might.